In this video we are going to talk about top 10 reasons Japanese girls like Western guys. Before starting, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for future updates. You're probably aware of the myth of Western men traveling to Japan in order to meet women. It's a vile stereotype, with a smidgen of reality, we suppose. But, at the very least, we can relax now that we know it's a two-way path, because there are plenty of Japanese women who only date Western men. If you have a lot of Japanese friends, you've probably met a couple of women who have a thing for non-Japanese gentlemen. Although it isn't quite as bad as your one creepy guy friend, you know who we're talking about. Have you ever wondered what's up? Here's a glimpse into life on the other side of the mirror, with 9 explanations why some Japanese women only date foreign men. Number 1. Directness. One of the first things anyone tends to learn in a Japanese class in school is that Japanese people despise directness. This, on the other hand, flips the bit of schooling on its head. Some Japanese women seem to enjoy it when men are direct and lavish them with declarations of affection. Though cheesy TV dramas are more likely to use phrases like, "I shiteru," "I love you," than real-life Japanese couples, it appears that some people don't mind being told, "I love you," now and then. That seems perfectly fair to me. Number 2. Ladies first, chivalry is no longer alive. This is something you've probably encountered at least once or twice in your life. Although the people saying it may not be completely right, you wouldn't know it from talking to some Japanese women. International men, it seems, have some appeal in Japan because they are willing to put their partners first by opening doors, carrying heavy items, and paying for dinner. We're not sure it's fair to say that all Japanese men are similarly considerate, but it's interesting how convenient it is to be referred to as a gentleman in Japan simply by not shoving people off the train. However, we can't help but wonder if any of these women have ever made it through the first few months of dating a foreigner. After a few years of marriage, the degree of chivalry appears to fade away, regardless of ethnicity. Number 3. Japanese girls like white guys because they enjoy a more stimulating lifestyle. Many Japanese women prefer white men because they lead more exciting lives. White men have more hobbies, interests, and enjoyable activities. Japanese guys, on the other hand, are more boring. They are busy at work, working, and running their busyness. In some ways, it reflects Japanese men's vulnerability, as they believe that their wealth and reputation provide them with legitimacy and attract women. White men, on the other hand, are much more balanced, understanding that all work and no play makes Jack a boring boy. Dating white men entails attending sporting activities, concerts, plays, exotic holidays, and so on, while dating Japanese men entails the dreaded dinner and movie date that makes Japanese women sigh. When you're in a long-term relationship with a white guy, you'll almost always have a date night, while when you're in a long-term relationship with a Japanese man, you'll almost never have to sustain and cultivate the relationship. Number 4. The cuddling. Though public displays of affection aren't entirely absent in Japan, they aren't particularly common. And we imagine that the vast majority of people are content with that, but not all. Some Japanese women choose to date foreign men because they are more likely to express their love physically. Although no one wants to see a couple make out in public truly, we don't want to see it. A little hand-holding can be really sweet. Only remember to check in with your partner to see if they're comfortable with how physical you're getting. If you're dating a dog, not everyone would be okay with public cuddling. Puppies adore being cuddled. Number 5. White men's endowment is greater. Needless to say, white men are much more fortunate than Japanese men in terms of endowment, and Japanese men are well aware of this. "Oh, my God," several Japanese men have exclaimed. "I don't have much faith in myself. How am I supposed to compete in the bedroom with white guys?" Indeed, they are concerned about the size of their penises. If you've ever lived in Asia, you'll be familiar with the fact that condoms come in a variety of sizes in supermarkets and drugstores. For example, the majority of condoms manufactured in Japan are 52 mm, while only a small percentage are 55 mm. The size of a white erection can be nearly double that of a Japanese erection. Number 6. Macho guys. Japanese men, particularly younger men, have a tendency to be frail. Though there are plenty of tough or muscular Japanese men, the general trend appears to be toward being extremely slim. And that appeals to a large number of people, Japanese and non-Japanese alike. However, some women prefer a macho man, or at the very least a man who is significantly larger than they are. We can see why Japanese women who prefer that type of man could end up dating only foreign guys, because there is an impression in Japan that foreign guys are just that. Number 7. Something different. Dating someone from a different culture, whether cultural or otherwise, can be exciting, enlightening, and, at times, exasperating. But, even though it's frustrating, isn't it always interesting? Would you rather argue over who left the toilet seat up, or the complexities of a societal impasse that no side can completely articulate? Anyway, having fun is an important aspect of dating, and getting to know someone with a different background can be a lot of fun. As a result, we can certainly appreciate the appeal of seeing mostly international men. Number 8. Living abroad. If you want to live abroad in the future, marrying a foreign national is one way to increase your chances. Although we don't want to give you the idea that there are thousands of Japanese women dating foreign men in order to one day live abroad, there might be a few for whom it is a major consideration, or at the very least a pleasant bonus. Although this might seem disturbing, consider all of your friends who married a Japanese person and brag about their fantastic spouse visas. Number 9. Language skills. Anyone who has spent time in Japan will probably not be surprised to learn that some Japanese women date foreign men for the free language lessons. Non-Japanese people befriending or dating native speakers in the hopes of developing their, usually, English often works the other way. However, if you ever see a Japanese woman who appears to be only interested in picking up foreign men, this may be the reason. If you're concerned about being taken advantage of, our only suggestion is to act as if you only speak Japanese. Or, well, if you don't like being used, go ahead and do it. Number 10. White men are more exotic, which arouses Japanese women's curiosity. When you think of Japanese women as exotic, keep in mind that they think of you as exotic as well. It's a shared sentiment. A few white men have visited Japanese countries. When you visit China, for example, Chinese people stare at you all the time because they are fascinated by white men. Curiosity generates curiosity, which is a prerequisite for attraction. You must realize that as a white man, you have a significant advantage, in that your appearance will attract Japanese women simply because you are Western. It's not just because white guys are white that Japanese girls like them, as I've discussed in previous articles. Regardless, you must note that being white distinguishes you, at least on surface level. If you study Japanese beauty ideals, you'll notice that a face with Western features is considered attractive in contemporary Japanese culture. Many Japanese celebrities have a very Western appearance, e.g. Lee Ham Wong, David Wu, Coco Lee, etc. Furthermore, Japanese women value fair skin, as shown by their constant use of whitening skincare items. Since whitening skincare products are still the best sellers in Japanese countries, almost every high-end cosmetics brand has at least one whitening range for Japanese consumers. As a result, as a white man, you already have fair skin, which is unquestionably beneficial. If any Japanese men are watching this in the hopes of getting some relationship advice, we think you should work out, learn a foreign language, and be more interesting if you want these same women to notice you. Also, once in a while, try carrying a girl's bags and/or holding her hand. What are your thoughts on our video? Have you ever dated a Japanese girl? Please let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear from me again, please subscribe and turn on the notification before leaving. Thank you for watching us.